Hello and welcome to Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. My name is Kelly and I'm a former wedding planner and blogger, and I'm obsessed with weddings. If you're planning a wedding in Ireland, you're in the right place. You're going to learn the tried and tested methods to planning your dream wedding without the added stress. Think of this as your one-stop shop for everything to do with planning your wedding in Ireland. With me, your new wedding planning bestie, and a cup of tea. This is Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online. Well, hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast. My name is Kelly and I'm your host. And today I'm going to demystify what a wedding MC is and if you actually need one for your wedding. So if you're putting together all the details for your wedding reception party, you've probably come across the term MC and you've seen like DJ and all these different things, and it can get a little bit confusing if you've never planned a wedding, and for many people they've never attended a wedding, and if they have, they certainly haven't been focusing on the different roles of people that are around in the room doing different things. So if you have no clue what a wedding MC is, I don't blame you, but I'm going to explain to you exactly what an MC is, what they do, and some of the different, some of the variations in packages that you might be able to find with professional MCs. So first, let me demystify what a wedding MC actually is. So MC stands for Master of Ceremonies. So this person basically represents you as the couple and gets to host the wedding on your behalf by doing all the upfront speaking and announcing. So there are some standard Master of Ceremonies tasks like making important announcements, making sure that the guests are informed of different things. But then a really good MC, like a professional wedding MC, is able to add some flair to that and to really bring, a fun atmosphere to their role. They can bring an entertainment side of things as well. And with the professional wedding MCs, you often find that they have a few things that they are really good at, and that an MC role is part of a bigger package that they have to offer. So some MCs are also comedians or magicians or some kind of entertainer, which means that as part of your wedding MC package, you're getting more than just announcements delivered, but you're actually getting a really cool entertainment slot as well, which I think is worth considering. And it can add something really fun to your wedding. You don't just have somebody getting up, tapping on the microphone and saying, "Excuse me, they're going to cut the cake," but somebody who really is skilled in knowing how to deliver the information clearly, but in a way that's entertaining and memorable as well. I want to just pause here for a moment to just kind of reduce some confusion as well. So sometimes people get a wedding MC confused with a celebrant or an officiant. So just so that we're all on the same page, the wedding MC's role will take place during the reception only, whereas an officiant or a celebrant will handle things happening in the ceremony. So we've had previous episodes where we've brought clarity to the differences between an officiant, a celebrant, and a solemnizer, a registrar, all the people who do different things at a wedding ceremony, some of whom can do the legal side of things, some can't, and there's so many details involved there. But the key thing for this is to understand that a wedding MC, they step in from the beginning of the reception onwards. Effectively, the first thing that they would do is to welcome you they would welcome your guests into the venue to give some key announcements before you then arrive. So that's when they would kind of pick up their role. Whatever happens at the ceremony would be handled by your wedding ceremony team, whether that is an officiant, it could be a solemnizer, it could be a celebrant, or a combination of people doing different things. But your wedding MC, they're there for the reception. So now the question, do I need a wedding MC? Now that I know what they do I need one? Well, the answer is that it's entirely up to you. I suggest that you definitely need to have someone in the role of making the key announcements, because how else are guests going to know what the heck to do? So for a moment, why don't you just pause and consider some of the information that will need to be communicated to your guests and how it will be communicated. So when people arrive at the wedding reception venue, they need to know where they're going to sit. So normally you'd have a seating chart of some kind telling people which table they're at, and if it's open seating, you would have a sign that will tell people it's open seating. Once they're seated, what happens next? Do they stay there for the night? Do they stay there for a period of time? At what point can they get up? At what point will the dancing happen? If there's a buffet, how do people know when it's their turn? There's so many different things that are happening. So when it comes to things like food, you'd probably find the venue team will help to communicate those things like, hey, you're table number 3, it's your turn to come up and get some food. But then what about the rest of it? Let's say it's time to cut the cake. Who's going to tell people that they need to A, keep quiet because this is a formality that's happening, and B, if you would like people to be able to stand and watch you cut the cake, or if you want them to be surrounding you on the dance floor in that moment, who's going to tell them to do it, and who's going to know ahead of time that it's happening? So that's why an MC is a really important part of helping things to flow as well as communicating that key information. And so I recommend having someone in that role because you will need things communicated, and you can't have one person running around to all the individual tables and people to get the information. So you need someone who's confident on a microphone, who understands the information, but also knows how to be really charismatic and how they deliver this key info. So if you're looking for somebody who's going to take things to the next level, someone who's going to provide entertainment, like it could be someone who's going to facilitate a game, someone who's going to, maybe they're going to have a quiz or a performance or something like that, then I highly recommend not just having someone who's good on a microphone, but somebody who's actually a professional MC entertainer. And there are so many of them across Ireland, people who specialize in wedding MC duties and entertainment. If you want to take things to the next level, then I highly recommend that you go to the Weddings Online website and look through the supplier listing to see what you can find, because there are some amazing entertainers who can really bring the role to life in a way that's not just saying, okay, everyone, why don't you come and stand around the dance floor? We're going to open the dance floor in a moment. But somebody who's going to do some really fun activities, and effectively you're getting 2 for the price of 1 when you think about it. Okay, so now let me break it down exactly what an MC does on the day. So to demystify the role of an MC. So we've spoken about the announcement side of things, and I would say this is probably the most important thing that a wedding MC will do, and that's to make announcements. They want to make sure that the guests are informed. They want to announce what's happening during the wedding, but not give out too much information too soon, so they know when to share different things. They'll welcome guests. They will introduce your arrival into the venue. They'll welcome people giving speeches or delivering toasts. They'll communicate any other specific details, things as mundane as where to find the toilets. Your MC will be the one to give that information. The next thing they do is they keep the festivities flowing. So your MC is probably going to be working quite closely with your wedding venue coordinator or your wedding planner, whoever has the timeline for the day. So let's say it's time for speeches. Your wedding MC won't just get up and say, okay, it's time for speeches, but together with your coordinator or your wedding planner, the MC will know that the staff is ready to start topping up people's glasses of Prosecco so that they are ready for the toasts. That kind of level of detail is what's needed here. So you don't just announce that the speeches are happening. You've got to know that all the steps have happened before that. And when it comes to things like cutting the cake, they don't just look at the timeline and say, okay, well, it's 9 p.m. now, cutting the cake, let's go. They've got to make sure that you as the couple are in the room, haven't ducked out to get some pictures or gone to the loo. They've got to make sure that the knife is on the table with the cake, and that the photographer, videographer, and content creators, that they're all ready. They're going to make sure that the DJ is ready to play whatever song you've chosen. So that's why keeping the festivities flowing is a role that is usually shared between the MC and the planners, but it really helps to keep things going. Okay, finally, on the same kind of topic as that, they really help to coordinate things behind the scenes. So I've already listed a few things that happen that you would probably never know about. But there'll be a few other things, like if someone's about to make a speech, the MC is going to gather those people and make sure that they know how to hold a microphone, for example. And they'll be there to communicate with the photographer and videographer so that they know what's coming next as well. And then finally, I've mentioned this before, but one of the roles of a really good MC, especially a professional MC, is to entertain the guests. And this is where you will be getting your money's worth, is in entertainment. So yes, your guests will be informed, but also they will have a memorable experience on your wedding day. It's not just about the announcements, but also the entertainment as well. So your MC can facilitate games and incorporate them into the program for the day as well, and add a little bit of fun and life to the festivities. Well, thank you for listening today. The Wedding Wednesdays with Weddings Online podcast is produced by me, Kelly, and mixed, mastered, and edited by Glenn Hartman. For more wedding planning tips, advice, checklists, and more, visit weddingsonline.ie.